Good day to you. My name is Maria Kądzielska, and today we're talking about opera, singing, and actually having some fun and pleasure from listening to opera. With us in the studio is Klaudia Kwaśny, a vocalist and an opera singer, so at least someone who learned a lot about it.
Yes.
Tell us about the project Navigate the Blood, which you had in Scotland.
Yes, I have been involved in the project in 2018. And it was the best opera that I have been because it was very unusual. It was performed with the classical ensemble, so some string, I think, quartet or quintet. And then it was a very popular band in Scotland, Admiral Fallow, that they were on the stage with us. So the music was, again, syncretic. It wasn't completely classical, it was just mixed. And it was about whiskey. And I was playing a Polish lady that worked in a whiskey distillery, and we did a tour around Scotland in whiskey distilleries, and it was experience of its own. Really, it was great.
So we were.
I was not drinking; I was still singing, but it was great to perform in those places.
So you're actually just going. I mean, you were performing in the distilleries, which
Yes.
are so many of them there in Scotland. Which Scotland is, of course, popular because of its whiskey.
Yes.
So that's a very cool thing. And then you were performing this Navigate the Blood. Why Navigate the Blood? Why this sort of name?
I think it went through that whiskey goes in the blood, that it's some parts that go, because it's made in Scotland, it's in their blood, you know. I think it's about that. But the story was actually sad because it was a person missing. I think the couple that the Polish lady worked for were missing a child, a boy, and somebody comes in suddenly, a man who is now grown up, and they feel like it's that boy, but turns out it isn't, and it's just. It was sad. It was really like losing a child, like going through that path of losing a child.
Oh, that's sort of sad.
It was sad.
But you were able to sing a lot and to have fun. And what was to be honest, what was your reactions? Because I understand in distilleries you have, Scottish people, but you have all the tourists.
Yes, I think mainly there were Scottish people. The reactions were great because opera wasn't like. We were on the stage and then nothing in between, and then the audience. It was us and the audience, so we were among them, and I think that kind of brought them even more experience, even more goosebumps, because they were in the action. And this is something that I saw, that breaking that wall, that fourth wall, I think it's called in a theatre, between the performance and the audience. In some cases, it makes good because the audience then have a better experience. And I would love, for example, when you have a recital, I do feel that should be as well, just taken aback, you know, just be able to communicate with your audience. Tell them what the piece is about, because sometimes it's in a completely different language. They have no idea what it's about.
Exactly, but usually it's in Italian or German, so
Exactly.
They just experience the artistic performance, but not the meaning when it comes to just words.
Exactly, and that opera was in English, so for people it was more accessible. And this is also great, that in Scotland they were trying to bring more operatic, more operas with English translation, which is unusual because you would have Madame Butterfly in English or Puccini's La Bohème in English, just so people can really get closer to it and get it better. Imagine that if you have that translated into Polish, I think it would be, oh wow, I would love to see that.
Polish is a very difficult language to sing,
Yes.
isn't it? Much harder than English, in fact. So I'm not sure if it would do much better. Let's keep to the subtitles. It's fun.
Well, I think for Polish people, singing in Polish would be easier than singing in English, I think, because English isn't that good to sing in.
Well, all this sounds extremely interesting as looking back. So Navigate the Blood, that was your, how long did it take?
It took a couple of months to prepare, so I flew there. I was living in London at the time, so I flew to Scotland. We had a month of rehearsals. And then we started touring. So it was really a short period of time, but this is how it works, really. Like, you kind of take a contract and you do the contract, you finish it, and you move to another one. That's how it works in Great Britain, usually, for freelancers.
Yeah, so right now what is left for me is to invite all of you, the viewers of Poland Daily, just to listen a little bit to Claudia's singing, and that is what we leave you with.